Hello Year 10, welcome to your final video on databases. This is about reports. Yeah! Okay, so where did we get up to? Well, we got up to the last time talking about queries and extracting data to Word or Excel. Now we're going to have a look at reports. So here I have a typical query that I have done, and I need to create a report, and let's imagine that the report also asks me to make a calculation of the income field, which is this column over here. To do this, I would go to Create Report Wizard, choose my query, choose all my fields, press Next. Now, grouping you do not have to worry about for now. We will talk about that in class, because you don't really need to worry about that for IGCSE. Sorting and searching, it might be that you have to sort it into order. So let's say we have to sort it into ascending order of staff, so that AR, whoever he is, comes at the top. Next, don't need to do anything here, and we're going to modify the report's design and press Finish. So when you're done, this is what your report looks like. These are all your fields here, and you have this thing called a page footer and a report footer. Now, the page footer is where your name will go, so that your name appears on every page, because a page footer appears on every page, and your calculation will go in the report footer, because it only has to appear once at the end of the report. So let's do the name bit first, because that's dead easy. Hold your mouse over the page footer area and drag, like so, creating a lovely area of beautiful white squares here. Right, we then go up to the controls box here and choose the option Label. Draw out the shape of a label, and we put our name here. We might also put our center number and our candidate number as well. I'm not going to do that in this example, but we will in class. So I've put my name in, great. But then let's imagine the question says, put a calculation to work out the total income received. To do that, I would open up the report footer. Lovely nice area of white squares there as well. But instead of using the label, this time I'm going to use the text box. So I take the text box and I click and drag in the report footer, and I get two sections. One says text 16 and one says unbound. Text 16 is the title part. So I'm going to put in here what my calculation is, which is total income. In the unbound bit is where I put my calculation. Now, how do I work out the total of the income field? Well, I use the formula sum, not sun, sum, equals sum. Then I use a curly bracket and a square bracket. I put the name of my field, which is income, like that, and I close it with a square bracket and curly bracket. And because income is to do with money, I also go up to the property sheet here and I format the whole thing to currency and to 2 decimal places, unless of course I'm told in the exam paper to do something else like 0 decimal places, but normally it's 2. So when I view this report, this is what I get at the bottom: total income and a calculation. Awesome! But then I also have these hashtag things here. And I bet you won't believe this, but apparently someone called their new baby hashtag this week. Can you imagine being called hashtag? Hashtag Al-Kuwari? It's a bit strange, isn't it? But somebody was called hashtag this week. Anyway, how do we get rid of the hashtag? Well, we go back into Design View. I did that really quickly. I better show you that again. Design View. And then where it says staff here, I'm just going to move this one a little bit along to the left so that I can increase the size of my date field, like so. And now, if I view it, hooray! My dates are there and ready. So, that is how you create a report and do a calculation and set up the report correctly. You'll also see here that I have some funny writing here. This is actually Scottish Gaelic, by the way. My computer is doing Scottish Gaelic dates at the moment, and I'm not really sure why, but it is, and well, that's what it is. Just before I go away, I'm going to show you one other thing. It may be that your calculation is not to find the total of the income field. It might be that Cambridge actually give you a really tricky exam and they try and confuse you and they say, we want the average of the field, not the sum. Well, if you need to do average, you would use AVG as the code. There we go, AVG or AVG antivirus. Then when I view it now, I get a completely different figure because it's averaged. Or they may be even more sneaky and they may just want to know how many times you received income. And if you wanted to add up how many times income was received, you would use a count formula. And now if I use count, I get the answer, well, I get the answer £22 because I set the field to currency before. But what I'm getting actually is 22. And what it's doing is it's counting up all of these different lines there. There's 1, AR2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just trust me, there's 22 there. And it's telling me the count is 22. So if I just take off currency and put it back to standard and take off the decimal places, then count would actually be like this. Okay? So there you go. That is how you calculate a report. You can do sum, you can do average, you can do count. You can also change the layout of the report in Design View by moving these boxes. Or, if you wish to try it a different way, you could go to Layout View, highlight the column like that, and just move everything across like that. And then just move the date across. And then move week across. And you get the idea. You can just kind of manipulate it like so. So you can choose. You can either do it in the Design View or the Layout View. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and now you have all the skills you require to do really well at databases. Have a funky weekend. See you soon. Bye.